Hey, now the mic is working. What's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. And, you know, technical problems. They're my life. Hopefully I'm not glitching out. I don't see any dropped frames. Joshua's stream was having a really hard time. But I think it was because he was outside trying to do fancy things on the laptop. He should know by now. You can't do anything fancy on live streams. You have to just sit at your goddamn desk. Don't hit any buttons. Just leave everything alone. Even when you leave everything alone, nothing's ever gonna work. Joshua, you know better. Come on, this is OBS. It doesn't work regardless. We're lucky it works at all. This is YouTube. They don't care about us streamers. What's up, boys and girls? So we're gonna do Always gotta be one light that gets forgotten. We're gonna pull this prototype 5 apart here today. and replace all of the press nuts with ones that will not strip out. This was the FPV Exchange giveaway rig. One of the 3, actually. This is grapefruit juice and 7-Up. Or Sprite. One or the other, same thing. This is my full-time job. If you would like me to keep doing this damn near every day, I need your help. I need you to head on over to CiottiFPV.com and just click some shit. There's a whole bunch of shit for you to click. Click it! This is what it looks like. My Patreon helps me the most. It's the closest thing that I have to a paycheck, and it's where the majority of the value of kind of investing in your boy CiottiFPV comes from. For as little as $3 a month, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but when a whole bunch of you do it, it makes a huge impact. You can get access, you're going to get access to emails when I live stream because YouTube's notification system is useless. You're going to get access to the Discord server and notifications over there when I live stream. Also, the super secret Facebook group. I've also got articles over on the Patreon page on PID tuning the easy way, filter tuning the easy way, troubleshooting motor heat and oscillations, all kinds of really, really good stuff. So head on over there. And then there's also bi-weekly giveaways that you can get in on for some of the other tiers. It's kind of explained over there. There's my YouTube and my Instagram. Over on Etsy, I've got a bunch of really fun stickers and hardware. Over on Fiverr, I'm doing flight coaching, helping out with tuning, and I need to update this, and build planning. T-shirts over on Teespring. This is my little store on FPV Exchange that Nevin very kindly set up for me. And look at these. These are all affiliate links. If you or anyone that you know, or even just a stranger, is about to do an order on any one of these websites without hitting an affiliate link, they're not giving one of their friends or another stranger's free money. So send them the affiliate link. FPV Cycle Amazon, like Amazon, you know, like if you're buying motor oil, I could get 1% of that motor oil. It's free money. Be excited. I'm excited. Get FPV, Oh My God's website, FPV Crate, Banggood, Camera Butter, AliExpress. There you guys go. This is what the Etsy store looks like. Look at these big, beautiful stickers and a whole bunch of random hardware that could help you out while you're doing your builds. Everything is $5 because it's, you know, you're supporting me. I'm not in the business of selling stickers. I'm in the business of making FPV content. So, you know, if you want to donate $5 to your boy and get a free sticker for it, that would be awesome. Here's the Teespring store, a bunch of t-shirts and sweatshirts and mugs and, come on, you know you want all this. These are all premium t-shirts and hoodies and whatnot. If you've got like that one shirt in your closet that's softer and more beautiful and you feel like a much sexier man-child while you're wearing it, that's what these are. That's why they're a little more expensive, you know. Usually t-shirts aren't $27 unless they swaddle you in beautiful comfort and love. And moving on. This is my FPV Exchange page. FPV Exchange pulls from a bunch of other websites and shows you all the different prices. So these are some items that are pulling from my Fiverr store. You can only get them on my Fiverr store, so it's only like one of one. But a bunch of these things here I'm selling, like these motors. These motors I am personally selling for $15 each, but then Banggood is also selling them. This is how FPV Exchange works. It pulls the item from all the different websites where it lives, so it shows you in one spot all the different prices, whether or not they're in stock, and it allows you to really easily buy them. It's an amazing website. Nevin is a great guy and a huge supporter of me and this channel. So support the people that make the content that you watch. Ha! Go to FPV Exchange, or I will burn your shit down to the ground. I really won't, but empty threats are kind of my thing. If you'd like to talk directly to me, all you've got to do is either a super chat or PayPal me or just type my name in order of preference, I guess. If you type CiottiFPV and you don't misspell it and you don't put a space in between Ciotti and FPV, it will light up in orange. You can do this to anyone. If you want to talk directly to Jackalope, just type his name. He does have a space in his name, so you need to make sure that you put that space in there. Otherwise, it's not going to light up in orange for him. That's how it works. Do it. Just like in life, you know, like if somebody's standing next to you and they're not looking right at you, you don't just like, hey, you say like, hey, Jim, you know? Chat's like real life. Not that, you know, any of us are used to talking to real human beings after the last fucking year of living inside in fear of a horrible flesh-eating disease. Matthew Savu tagged me and said what's up. So did Michael Blades. Patrick Legowski said happy Sunday. Jackalope says with the fresh cut. Yeah, I got my hair cut. I got it cut shorter than usual because it grows out like a wild wildebeest on acid. So yeah, I usually get it cut a little bit shorter than I like it, and then it grows out within like, you know, 48 to 72 hours. YouTube just did the thing, scrolling back up. Fucking YouTube. How dare you. Paul McDonald says, hair is looking good, man. Thank you, brother. Riot9 says, nice hair with a little picture of scissors. Look at that little scissor emoji. Well, that's what she said. Journey Druid says, look at Sharp. Have you lost weight on your head? I have. I'm losing weight here. I'm gaining weight here. And here. And here. YuperFPV says, what's up? Frank Nicholas dropping the link to CiottiFPV.com. Journey Droid says, grapefruit and 7/Sprite good with gin? Absolutely, Journey Droid. Grapefruit, yeah, that's like a really nice cocktail. Grapefruit, Sprite / 7-Up, and gin. Really, really nice little cocktail. What's really nice about it is grapefruit is really good for you, and then the gin is really bad for you. So, you know, it's like drinking water. CMYKFPV's in the house. He says, what's up? Tack is in the house. Tack, why are you not a moderator? And Tack is in blue. Tack, don't moderate. I just like to make people in blue that, like, I really want to see sometimes. People that, like, you know, I'm friends with in life but don't come to the stream all the time, basically. So yeah, don't feel like you have to moderate anything unless you want to. If somebody's being a jerk off, feel free to you know, smack them down. Do whatever you want. Just everybody do whatever you want. It's gonna be fine. Metal Dirtskin says, what's up? Staying indoors all weekend, so I finally made a Sunday stream. Congratulations, Metal Dirt. You have arrived. It's no different than any other stream. Alec Dvornik is in the house. He says, good to see you. What's this prototype? Happy streaming. This is the prototype 5 from FPV cycle. It's got a name that would make you think that it's not released, but it is. This has been out for a while. This is basically the FPV, in my opinion at least, this is the FPV cycle frame for somebody that wants to do, well, I mean, definitely an air unit. This is the only FPV cycle frame that's going to accept an air unit. But also, this is a good frame choice for if you want to do digital in general. There are two 20x20 and 30x30 stacks, stack mount positions in this. The Glide has a 30x30 or 20x20 in the middle, a 20x20 in the front, and a 20x20 in the back. So you can certainly put a Vista in the back of a Glide, but it also works really well in the rear of this. This is also a squished X frame. The Glide is a true X frame. And this is also a vertical carbon camera cage frame. So yeah, if you prefer vertical carbon camera Michael Blade says happy haircut day. Double A says hello. YouTube just did the fucking thing again. Jay Drone says, have you had your ears lowered? Having your ears lowered is my favorite description of haircuts. A really good friend of mine, Amy, in Charleston, used to say that every time I would come in. We worked together for a while at a furniture company as like their media team, and every time I would come in with a haircut, she'd be like, "Oh shit, son, you got your ears lowered," and it just made me laugh every time. Journey Droid says gaining boob weight. Indeed, you know, first I got me some, and now they're getting heavier. So you know, It's a good thing. Ladies like boobs. Smooth and Groovin says, Sunday Fun Day stream. How the hell are you, brother? I'm good, man. How about you? Aethix FPV says, hello. Gertjan says, nice to see you again. Busy with a new build, maybe? Not necessarily, really. Does any YouTuber use the moderation function as designed? Of course not. No, this was actually built by Nevin Zanakis over at FPV Exchange and sent to me for a couple of giveaways. And yeah, I just need to... When he built it, it was like the first gen of the Prototype 5, and they were shipped with press nuts that were no good. So I need to pull this down, take all those press nuts out, and then replace them with the good press nuts. And this has already been won. So this, and I've been kind of dragging my feet on doing this because this is going to take a long time. This is going to take maybe more than just this live stream, but we'll see. Robin Duckett saying woo, and Alec Dvornik says cool carbon camera cage. Turtles, okay, turtles. Let's get to work because this is going to take a hot minute. Hit the chat up with any questions that you guys have got. This is Sunday Q&A more than anything else. I don't see any questions that I haven't gotten to, so I'm going to start working. As the chat fills up with questions, I'll jump in on them, and yeah, we'll hang out for a couple hours here, boys and girls. Look at that purple out there. Oh, why is there a big shadow like that? Oh, the shadow is the, oh, that's interesting. That shadow looks totally different in real life. So it's not actually a shadow. That's the ceiling. There are like kind of vaulted ceilings in here. And like, so that's the ceiling there, and then this is the ceiling up here. The lamp is like right there on the corner. So the lamp is shooting up and it's not hitting. That's funny. So this has to come all the way down. What's up, Espander? How the hell are you? Robin Duckett says, woo. I think I already read that. So yeah, this needs to come all the way apart. So let's get to work. That is absolutely not the right sized driver there. As you can see below, I'm gonna try to be on a little bit more of a weekly schedule. I have added Wednesdays at 8 to the text down there, so I'm gonna try my best to be ready for you guys by 8 o'clock on Wednesday. Easier said than done, of course. But I mean, you don't know if you can do it until you try, god damn it. So we gonna try. Get this light in a little better spot for you guys. And then Fridays, a little bit earlier, at 7 o'clock. These are all Eastern, I'm in Atlanta. Friday at 7, this way. I go on at 7, stream for 2 hours, jump off at 9 o'clock, and you guys can jump over and watch you some Bot Grinder, which is the real main event on Fridays. Let's just be real. So we've got a couple on here, but these are the good ones. You can tell by the fact that they're round. These are the good press nuts, so these ones are fine. I don't have to replace those, which is great. The ones that I need to replace are these silver hex ones. So yeah, let's do. And I'm also gonna have to work on this stack because we've got a similar situation to the Apex, where the motor wires are kind of hitting are rubbing up against the flight controller, and we don't want that. So. But we're gonna deal with the press nut situation first, because that is the main issue with this in its current state. So let's knock that out first, and then we'll deal with the stack mount next to make sure that flight controller is floating nice and freely. We want to make sure that it pees freely. Anybody get that joke? Anybody? Big FPV says that's not a Gen 1, that's a Gen 2. Oh, okay. Fair enough. The Prototype 5 is not the frame for me. I really prefer the Glide, mainly because I can slam it down on 15mm standoffs. So I haven't really kept track of the Prototype 5. I did build one here on the stream and flew it, and we reviewed the flight footage and whatnot. And it's a great frame. It's just, yeah, it's just not the frame for me. The Glide is like kind of the perfect frame for me, especially because I'm not on digital. Yeah, the Glide is pretty awesome. BeepTube with a $5 super chat. He just spent 4 hours installing race wires on one quad. My brain is numb. Why did it take 4 hours, BeepTube? It's only like 100 solder joints. What, you couldn't knock that out in like 10 minutes? What are you, a fucking pleb? It is kind of crazy how long it takes to install race wire. 4 hours seems like a bit much, though. Was there something else going on? I've never like timed it. It very well could take 4 hours because it's a lot of measuring, cutting, tinning, and soldering. Wait, no, this is the European stream. I definitely can't pronounce it like that. They'll kill me. Yeah, it is a lot of work, so I get it, but I get the feeling that there was something else going on. Tell us, BeepTube. We want to know. Robin Duckett says, another EU stream, please. Guides says, do you tune your quads? I do, Guides. Or no, that's Gouda's, it looks like. Gouda's, I do, and we talk about tuning a lot on these live streams. So there's lots and lots and lots of good knowledge on and real-world experience on tuning in these live streams. And then I also offer tuning services on Fiverr. If you're looking for me to help you one-on-one tune your rigs, I can definitely do that. So, wow, that's a really short screw there. Okay. So those are all the frame screws that are jacked into press nuts that need to be removed. So let's just do this, and let's do this. And you know what I'm going to do? Since I need to work on the stack, I'm going to pull the stack and the arms completely off of this. So, I get to use my new, my new 5.5mm nut driver. Everybody needs a good nut driver. Oh, shit. Serves me right for making a dick joke. Get out of there. Get out of there. Thank you. There's another one that there is. So yeah, we got that. What? We got what? What do we have? You were saying. What were we talking about? I don't remember. Must not have been that important. Nut driver, you're going home now. Hope it's not too good for its home. 134 dropped frames. Thanks a lot, YouTube, you jackasses. Robin Duckett says, another EU stream, please. The problem is the problem is during the day I'm kind of doing stuff. I'm sort of set up to man, this is gonna be a little annoying. I'm set up to kind of like do stuff like yoga and meditation and being a human during the day, and that's when the EU streams would need to be. This stream here today, I do like today is the big fly day here in Atlanta. So I miss out on that, a big chunk of that because of these streams, but I'm willing to do that, and financially it makes sense for me to do that because Joshua has a stream today from 1 to 3 o'clock. So I'm willing to miss a lot of good flying, because I get a lot of new people here on this stream. During the week, I'm just not really, like, my schedule doesn't necessarily, because like some days during the week I do work trade at the yoga studio, some days I do yoga classes, and shit like that. Plus I tend to wake up pretty late because most of my streams are late at night and I have trouble sleeping. So it's unfortunately kind of tough for me to commit to another middle of the day live stream. The other problem is that the middle of the day live streams get practically no viewership. I've tried doing 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock rock streams, and just nobody really comes to them, and like I hate for that to be the reason that I don't do them, because I want to give every single one of you guys exactly what you want. But it's financially I'm not quite there yet to be able to do that. So I got to kind of keep going with the streams that get a lot of viewership and get a lot of super chats over like what each one of you guys individually wants. I know that sucks, and I hate that that's the case, but I'm getting there. We're getting there. Once we're a little bit better financially in the house here, and by we I mean just me, because I'm all alone now, I'll be able to not have things be quite so financially driven, which will be great. That's really the goal. So sorry, brother, but at the moment, the during the day streams are gonna have to wait. I know that sucks, but just kind of is what it is, unfortunately. Where are we at here? Double A says, Do all your Betaflight amp meters run between 100 and 400? JB stated that if they were outside those parameters, there might be something wrong. Yes, the rigs that I've got, which have ESCs that have current sensors on them, well, I kind of only used Acon ESCs. The only ESCs that I use that have current sensors on them are Acon ESCs, and I've never had to adjust the factory amp rating number for the current sensor has always been correct on the Acon ESCs. A whole bunch of my micros and most micro, what are they called? ESCs do not have space for a current meter. So they basically take a guess based on the voltage, and in that case, a lot of times you do have to move that number way the hell around outside of that 1 to 400 range. That's the one thing that that Joshua didn't say. I think that was on yesterday's last week's live stream rather. That's the one thing that he didn't mention. I did mention it in the chat, but it's hard to catch everything in his chat because it goes by so fast. So yeah, keep that in mind. If it's a micro ESC, that rule kind of sort of goes out the window in a way. I am going to cut this zip tie here just to make my life a little bit easier while working on this. And so if it's outside those parameters, you don't need to adjust the offset. So I think you should be good now, double A. Moblade says, did you get the red tape from JB? This is actually orange tape from FPV Exchange. Their colors are blue and orange. BeepTube says it took maybe an hour of breaks between arms. I guess it was more like 3 hours of actual work. Part of it is cutting, applying tape, and putting foam tape backing on the race wire. Yeah, it is true. My God, it does take a long time. You got to cut, you got to shrink wrap, you got to shrimp wrap, I should say. You got to double-sided tape. Double A, Joshua did do, he did do a live today, but his laptop was acting up, and I think he just got frustrated and cut the stream because it just like all of a sudden stopped. BeepTube says, I also reworked the joints on the ESC pads while I was at it. Nice, man. Yeah, so that's why it took so much time. MotorF says, hope you're well. What is your method to determine the ideal low ESR capacitor size for 3-inch cinema build? Thanks. MotorF, basically on a full-size 5-inch rig, I run 1,000 UF, and then on anything smaller than 5-inch, I'll just run like one of these. This one here is a 470, I think, that Nevin put on here. Yeah, this is a 470. Apparently these 470s are totally fine and all you need for a 5-inch rig, but on a 5-inch rig, typically there's plenty of room for a capacitor, so yeah, there's... On my glide builds, there's a perfect spot for 1,000 UF capacitor, so what the hell? It's not like it weighs anything. So I just put them on all of them and move about with my life. So one of the easier ways to remove these is to take the shortest possible socket-headed M3 screw that you can find, and if I screw that into the right, well, no, that's how to install them. I'm going to use this to install them. I'm not going to use this to remove them. I guess to remove them I need a little wrench, right? Because I need to spin it top to the left, I assume. Man, these are going to be a bitch to remove. Well, here we go. Here comes some cursing and screaming and crying, because these are going to round out. Yeah, these are gonna round themselves out. Ooh, yes. Okay, cool. Got one. Like I said earlier in the stream, these are the press nuts that went out with the early generation of the prototype 5s. These were incorrectly spec'd by the manufacturer and not by Bob Ruge of FPV Cycle. This is a fuck up on the manufacturing plant side. If you contact him, if you got a prototype 5 with these press nuts that strip out when you put the frame together, just message Bob and he will send you a set of proper press nuts, because that's just the kind of guy that he is. He cares more about taking care of his customers than making money. Fuck, this one is stripped out. So this one has actually stripped out the hole in the carbon, which is really not good, because that means when I try to put the replacement one in there, it might not lock in. So what that really means is that this base plate might be fucked. Hopefully the replacement one that I go to put in will have bigger sort of fins on it, and it'll grab the carbon. We will find out shortly. Oh no, this one's stripped out too. Fuck. Each time one of these is stripped in the hole, the chances of one of these holes being like fully wallowed out goes through the roof. Oh boy. Oh boy. So this is gonna be... this might be a short session of trying to repair this, because I don't have a replacement Proto 5 base plate. Lots of carbon fiber dust. Breathing as shallow as I can. Come on, get in there. Get in there, you dirty bastard. I'm gonna have to pull these stack screws. What else is going on in the chat? Tim Coker says, first time I'm seeing nuts between ESC and flight controller. Kind of makes sense if you have the space, but seems like a pain in the ass. I actually really prefer. What's the alternative that you've seen, Tim? This is sort of my normal. This is what I usually do and/or see. What's your normal? Don Ladd says, "Hey bro, how's you?" I'm good, Don. How about yourself, man? Big FPV says, "I have a carbon." I don't know what that word is. New, still in the package. I can send you. I sold the other frame. Wait. Oh. I have a carbon kit. Big FPV, are you saying that you have one of these prototype 5s? I might only need, I mean, hopefully I'm good here, but worst case scenario, all I'll need is the base plate. If you have a prototype 5 base plate that you don't want or need, I would love that. That would be amazing, brother. Thank you for the offer, if that's what the offer is. Let me know. Man, these are hard to get access to. Let's try the other one. Let's try this one here. Hey, there we go. Okay, cool. So this one is starting to come out, and it has stripped out the carbon. All right. Not going well. Let's leave that one and see if we can remove this one, and that'll give me access to the one next to it that's kind of being a dick. Hey, now we're talking. Might as well yank this one out while I'm at it. Okay. And I wonder if I spun this one enough. Nope, not quite. Come on. No. No. Oh. You guys know what just happened. You know exactly what just happened. Shit. Come on, man. Be cool. Be cool, Pressnut. Don't fuck with me like this, please. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well. Oh, boy. Let's get a couple more of these out, and then we'll come back to that one. God damn it. All right. Doing pretty good here. I was worried that... oh, fuck. Another one. No! No! Don't round. Don't round out, you jerk off. Yes. Cool. Okay. So... it's just this one that's going to be a total dick face. Let's see. No. Okay, here we go. So these are the only two sides that are still sharp. So if it rounds out here, fuck, which it just did. All right, well... no, I got one more shot. I got one more try. Hold on. Let's remove this. And then we've got one more shot at this. I'm pretty sure it's going to round itself out. And then the real fun is going to begin. There might be a way that I can, like, double nut this. Maybe, like, if I put a screw up from the bottom. And then yeah, I think I can double nut this to remove it, but hopefully we won't have to go there because that takes some serious time. This is the last chance. Let's see what happens. Nope, fucked. Completely rounded out. Okay. Fuck you too. So if I put a screw down in from the top, it's gonna tighten it down more, which is not what I want. If I put a screw up from the bottom, I put one nut down, I crank the top nut onto the second nut, I can then take the second, yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so this is kind of a working on cars trick, if I'm honest, but here's what we're gonna do. So the press nut is up on top, all right? And we need to spin it counterclockwise, top to the left for loose. We need to spin it top to the left to get it out of here. It tightens into the carbon top to the right for tight. So I can't just sink a screw down through it, because the screw, once it bottoms out, will only spin top to the right to drive it farther in. But if I put a screw up from the bottom, don't tighten it, because I just want the threads, and then I put two nuts right next to each other. They need to be metal nuts. Why is this so... what the hell? Well, this is interesting. This is fighting me so bad that it might actually back the damn thing out. I don't know why it's fighting me so hard. I think there was maybe Loctite in it. Alright, yeah, there must have been Loctite in it. Alright, cool. So we gotta screw this all the way through. We're not gonna bottom this out, though. We're just gonna put this like 3/4 of the way in. Alright, stay with me. Stay with me. If you haven't worked on cars, you probably don't know the double nut method. This is how you will typically pull exhaust header studs out, because the headers or the exhaust manifolds get hot, then cold, then hot, then cold, then hot, then cold, and they get really, really hot. And it really puts a lot of stress on the header bolts that hold the header to the head. And yeah, those header bolts, or in some cases header studs, have a real tendency to fail, strip out, explode, die a slow death. And so then, yeah, and in some cases, if they're header studs, you kind of have to do this. Like they'll sometimes put a little hex head on the end, depending on the manufacturer. Like some of the aftermarket manufacturers, like ARP, for example. I don't know if ARP actually does this, but I've seen it before, where they will put a little Allen head on the end of the stud, header stud, but it tends to be too small, and it'll strip out as well a lot of the time. So yeah, this is a really good method to kind of know. So we've got our screw going up, so we've just got access to a bunch of threads here, basically, right? So now we are gonna find some M3 hex nuts. I could use these nylock nuts, but I think I have some skinnier ones. I do. I've got some skinnier nuts, which is of course what she said. What I'll do is I'll use one skinny nut and one nylock. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Nobody else is going to have the skinny nuts, so I'm going to do this with nylock just to show you guys what the hell this method is. So all of you guys are going to have a couple of nylock M3 nuts. If you don't, maybe I have some on the Fiverr store. Maybe not. Or Etsy store, rather. Ah! So, you're going to take your nylock nuts. You're going to put one of them on. You're going to put two of them on. You're going to crank them together. And then you're going to back the one of them off, which I'm about to show you. So apparently the nylock nuts are a different size than the heads on the hex nuts. That's fine. So it looks like the nylock nuts are 5.5 millimeters. Of course they are. that's what the. Oh, I've got my driver. That'll make life easier. So I'm gonna put the driver on. That's gonna want to spin this screw. Again, we want to make sure that this screw does not bottom itself out. So I'm needing to use the this hand here to hold the screw to keep it from loosening or tightening. So we're gonna bring the nylock nut down a little bit so that there's a little bit of exposed thread, and then we're gonna take another nylock nut and we're gonna use that to cover up the rest of that thread. And then what we're going to do is tighten one of them into the other one. So let me just get it a little bit farther down. All right, so it's a little farther down. The screw is still not buried. We're going to just tighten the top nylock nut down to the second nylock nut. And see now, so now these guys are tight together. You don't have to crank them or anything because you're now going to back off the bottom. So now what's going to happen is you're going to put a wrench on just the bottom nut, and when you loosen it, again, I'm going to need to have my driver on the bottom here because otherwise it's just going to want to turn the screw. So I'm going to hold the screw in place. Hold on. Shit, this ain't going to work. Why did I think this was going to work? Hold on. I was thinking of doing this on the bottom. Shit! No, this ain't gonna work. This is for pulling the. This is for pulling the screw, not pull. Ah, fuck. Damn. I thought that I did this last time. Isn't this what I did last time? That I swore that I remember doing this to pull these. How the hell did I pull these press nuts last time? I dealt with this a couple of months ago when I built my prototype 5. Shitters. I feel like I might actually have to go watch that stream. Hammer. Fucker. Hold on. No, I can just stare at this for a minute and figure it out. How can I get that press nut to rotate out? Well, I can take the... Blizzard FPV with 5 Canadian Californian dollars. He just says hi. Washers. Did I use washers? DM4 says. Fuck the glam man. Well, yeah, I can take the nuts out. Off, rather. Ooh. 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 Spun around there. Yeah, I was. My brain was thinking that thinking of this press nut like a stuck stud, just like me. Let's try this. Let's crank this guy and pull the press nut down a little bit, and that might kind of loosen it up a little. So, all right, let's throw this on here and see if that made any difference. Probably not, but I mean, it's worth a quick try. Nah, of course not. Course not. Well, let's never doubt the hammer. Never. Fuck! Where's the hammer? Found it. Never doubt the use of a hammer in all situations. I learned this from Jeremy Clarkson. And I mean, oh God, excuse me. If you can't rely on Jeremy Clarkson for repair advice, who can you rely on? So, a little bit of hammerage. Where'd the right one go? There it is. And now let's see. I mean, this won't work, but no. And it's really rounded out. Hey! Well, that carbon is almost certainly destroyed. So it's out. Look at that. Oh, shit. Oh, God, come on, get out of here. Stop falling, everything. What? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. Ah! Okay. Oh boy, this ought to be interesting. I don't have much hope for these, for a bunch of these holes. Most specifically that one. Having to hammer that out was no doubt very hard on that hole. CiottiFPV 2021. Hard on the hole. Oh, farts. Well, now the real fun begins. Well, actually, yeah, now I gotta try to figure out where the hell I put all of those replacements. Hey, here they are. Steel press nuts. Bob sent me a whole bunch of them because he knew that I was doing this. Jay Drones calls a hacksaw a slot into it. Yeah, that's one of the more popular methods in the car world. I actually don't have a hacksaw. I never. When you're working on cars, you tend to just kind of wait until you need a tool, and then you either rent it or buy it. And I never got to that. Whenever I would do stuff where I was expecting bolts to strip out, where I would need something like a hacksaw, I would do those jobs at a friend's garage, or I knew a couple buddies up in New Jersey when I was into cars that had shops. And so yeah, I would just do it there so that I had access to all their tools. And I was always very respectful of people's tools, and I would like make it a point to put everything, absolutely everything, back exactly where I found it. And if I got the tools dirty, I would clean them and shit like that. So yeah, the friends that would let me use their stuff, they would tend to continue to let me use their stuff because I was respectful of it. So, you know, respect people that give you access to their shop, and then, you know, you can also do stuff like sweep when you're done, and just do like a couple simple things to kind of help them out. Because yeah, I mean, you're in their way, like, for sure, and you're like, inevitably you're gonna move something around that doesn't go back exactly where you got it from, and at some point they're gonna go looking for it and not be able to find it, and get sort of frustrated. So like, when that happens, not if, but when that happens, if they're like, fucking Ciotti, move this, they'll be like, ah, well, At least he swept the entire shop for me. So yeah. Don't hate, appreciate. So here we go. Let's see how this goes. So now we've got our good press nuts. What I like to do is take a little socket-headed M3x5. It's the shortest socket head that I have. And you're gonna put it on the flat side, not on the small side that has the little diggy bastards, but the flat side that goes up. And you're just gonna hand tighten it in all the way down. You're gonna put your driver on it. So now you've got this little thing. Come on, Logitech, you scumbag. There you go. So now you've got this little setup here. And you can see the little diggy bits there. So you're gonna put this down into the hole, and you're gonna jack it off. You're gonna jack it on in there. You're gonna push as you twist. You're gonna push as you twist, and hopefully, we're fucked. Hopefully it's gonna tighten. But in this case, it is not, and that means that we are screwed. So that's that. That's not even one of the holes that I was worried about. That's one of the holes where the other ones came out totally fine. So we're done. Technically speaking, I could just leave this loose in the hole and then put a wrench on this on the top every time, but then you'd have to do that every single time with every single one of these, and that's just no. So yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for a replacement Prototype 5 base plate, which is not the end of the world. We gave it a try and got some of the work done. I will bag this up, and let me count out the number of press nuts that I need here, and then yeah, we'll get it worked out. So stand by. In a minute I'm gonna come over there and get caught up on chat. And yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the outer arm bolts, 4 for the inner arm bolts, and then 1 for the center in the middle. So I've got 3 extra of these press nuts up here. So yeah, let me wipe this down and I'll bag it and we'll move on. We'll do some Q&A, and then we will... Oh, I might as well pull this the rest of the way apart. This base plate is completely shot now. So I might as well pull it the rest of the way down. And we'll throw this base plate away. That's a bummer. That's okay though. It happens. This is gonna fight me, so there we go. Big FPV says, check your Instagram DMs later. I'll send you one. Thank you, Big FPV. Very, very cool of you, man. You are a fucking lifesaver. Because I don't think that FPV Cycle has these in stock. I could totally be wrong because his stock numbers change pretty frequently, but last time I looked, these were not in stock. So yeah, very cool of you, Big FPV. Me and whoever the hell won this, I actually might need to look back at the live streams. It doesn't look like I wrote down who won this. What the hell is wrong with me? Did I really not write it down? Oh, what a dumbass. I have to go back and watch the watch the live streams to see who won this. Whoever won this will be very appreciative, I'm sure. I thought that I printed out the shipping label. I probably did and then just lost it. It's been a rough couple of months, boys. Rough couple of months. But, I don't know. I'll just keep going. Keep my fucking head down and keep running forward blindly as fast as I can, and we'll see what happens. Alright, a couple more screws to pull out here, and we can move on. In the chat, Blizzard FPV says hammer and glue didn't work. Alec Dvornik says Robin Duckett. Robin Duckett says don't hammer. Actually got away with hammering because the one that we hammered is not the one that stripped out, so it was actually totally fine to hammer. Alex Dvornik says I guess the hammer is more entertaining. The hammer is always more entertaining. Tim Coker says I think that is the first time I've seen one of your builds down to this level. Other builds just have rubber grommets between the ESC and the flight controller. So, Tim, this is actually, this was built by Nevin Zanakis from FPV Exchange. I typically use little aluminum spacers in between the flight controller and the ESC because I can get them really cheap from Pyrodrone in purple and red. So that's actually what I usually use. But I mean, it's the same thing as using a nut. Here's the problem with using a rubber grommet in between rubber grommets, is that it allows movement. I prefer a plastic nut or an aluminum spacer or something that's threaded in between the ESC and the flight controller so that on really hard collisions, so if you've got your, wait, I have it here. So if you've got your ESC and your flight controller, which already have, they should, pretty much all flight controllers and ESCs nowadays have rubber grommets built in, right? If you then put another rubber grommet in between on a really hard inverted collision, the ESC is pretty heavy, so the ESC is going to be able to move up and compress the rubber grommet in between it and the flight controller, and there's the potential that the ESC will smash into the flight controller at that point, and you don't want that. So I really prefer to have a screw coming up through the bottom plate and then a spacer below a threaded spacer below the ESC. What that does is that locks the screws in from the bottom, so the screws can't wobble around now. The screws coming up through the bottom plate are perfectly solid at that point because you have something threaded on the bottom pulling them into the base plate, right? So now your 4 screws are not going to wobble or move or anything, and then you put your ESC down, and then you put another threaded something, nut, spacer, whatever, and that threaded piece you're just barely going to tighten down on the top of the ESC grommet just to kind of lock it in, and then you drop your flight controller down on top of that. So on a really hard collision, the ESC will only move a fraction of a millimeter because it'll only have the amount of squish in its own rubber grommet to move, and the flight controller will do the same. Whereas, again, if you have rubber, non-threaded rubber in between these two, they're going to move together in hard inverted crashes, and the ESC is going to be able to potentially squish that grommet in between and contact the flight controller. And I mean, that can blow the flight controller up in the worst case scenario. At the best case scenario, it's just going to put garbage data into the gyro, and you're going to get like a big judder from the rig because the gyro is going to see this big jerk, and the PID loop is going to try to correct for that error that's been introduced. Let me get some water. Be right back, motherfuckers! Water time, water time. Fuck! Okay. Let me throw this shit in a bag, and we're gonna move on. Hingus. Hit him in the hingus. So this is garbage. And then the rest of this stuff we'll just throw in here. And away we go. Oh, hey, that one needs to come out too. So, please don't be a dick. Please just come out of there. Please just come out of there, you fucker. Alright, attempt number 2. No! Alright, well, before attempt number 3, I'm gonna hit it with a hammer. Come on, man, don't do this. Don't be like this. Please. Alright, so I'm gonna screw this in a little bit. I'm gonna smack it with a hammer, not as hard as I was with the other one, because I don't want to knock it out with the hammer. I just want to kind of like loosen it, and I'm just sort of hitting it from all angles here. I'm just trying to loosen up the little. It's got like little, I don't know, little diggy bits, and I just want to loosen the little diggy bits up. Oh, please. Please. Nope, it's starting to go. God damn it. Please be cool. Please be cool. Nope. God damn you. Hey, Big, do you happen to have one of these pieces as well? I might need it. Gradually kind of hitting harder and harder with the hammer. I think it's gonna round the corners off right around now. Yep, there it goes. Fuck you! Well. Oh boy. This has turned into a real shit show. At this point, I just need to bash it out of there. And there it is. That hole doesn't look too bad though. Let's try one of the press nuts in that hole, and we'll see what happens. It might actually be okay. I'll try your fucking press nuts in my hole. Wait. Hold on. No. Oh boy, well. That did not go as expected. How's the last one gonna fuck me over like that? Maybe it'll be fine. Let's see. So, garbage. We're gonna take a new, one of the new, littering and smoking the reefer. We're going to take one of the new good press nuts here, bury the thing in it, and yeah, it goes in this direction. Let's see if it grabs, or if it strips it the rest of the way. Ooh, it might be grabbing. Nope, stripped it. Fuck! God damn it. Hey, Big. I have one of these. Hold on, I actually might have, there's actually a really good chance that I have one of these, because I think that was one of the upgrade pieces that I have extras of. Yeah, like I said earlier, this is not this is not a frame that I'm really going to be using in the future, so yeah. Let's see. There was a little upgrade kit. Hey! Look at me go! Prototype 5 front end set 2mm. That's what I needed right there. Amazing. Thank you anyway, Big. I only need the base plate. Okay, terrific. So, might as well just put this in here. Well, hey, I can show you. Finally how this works. So you put the little socket head screw in there. Just I want you guys to see the little diagonal bitey bits. There we go. See the little diagonal bitey bits? They bite into the carbon as you turn it in. And yeah, I like doing that with this little short little socket-headed bastard. So then you just put it on here. Let me get some of the carbon fiber dust off of there. And there we go. How was that noise? Oh, come on. Don't do that. There we go. Okay. Nice and clean now. So here you go. This is how it's supposed to work. You put it like this, you push on it, and twist. Wait a second, what? These twist to the left? Oh. The silver ones twist to the right. These black ones twist to the left. How the hell did I not realize that? Right? Yeah, these guys twist to the left. Oh. So maybe that base plate's fine. What? Are these all like that? I'll be damned. Okay, so these twist in left loose. Big, you might be fully off the hook. Hold on. Where'd it go? I threw it in the garbage bin and it vanished. Where'd it go? There it is. Well, that's really weird. Why do they, God damn it, I pulled this thing all the way apart. Okay, let's, oh, you know what the other thing is? I can put them in from the opposite side, too. Big, you're probably good, man. I did not think all the way through this. I can just put this on the other, these in on the other side, and it's not going to sacrifice strength at all, because the strength comes from the flat bit. The strength does not come from the little diggy bits, and the little diggy bits only dig into like half of the carbon. So, okay, here we go. We got this. Metal Dirtskin, exactly right, man. He says Bob has a build guide from his other frame where he advises putting in the screw from the non-nut side and cranking it in. So that's what you do with these black ones. Those silver ones, the threads are reversed. So cool. Are they? Yeah, they are. Wait, no, they're not. Okay. So that's why I couldn't get the silver ones out right. Because I was twisted. Although, man, the ones that came out, they did seem to back themselves out. Shit, I'm surprised I didn't notice that. But the problem is that they were all kind of cockeyed in there. And That's what those silver ones were doing. When you would put them in, they would kind of get a little diagonal on you. Damn. Okay. Lesson learned. So, what we're going to do now is put the screw in from the other side, and we're going to put it into the kind of banged up side, and then we're going to put the press nut on the opposite side, and then when you crank it, it's just going to pull it straight down. It's going to pull it into the hole, and it's going to rotate it all at the same time. So here we go. For some reason this one won't. This one's kind of fighting me already. For some weird reason. What the fuck? What the hell's going on here? What? Why won't this? Why won't this screw in? What the fuck, dude? What is this doing? Either this screw or this press nut are jacked up. Hold on. Hold on. Screw's fine. Wow, man, this just gets weirder and weirder. Told you guys this is going to take forever. Let me grab one of these other press nuts and see if it's going to be a dick with this screw. No, it's fine. So somehow this press nut got cross-threaded or some shit. That's fine. Back to it. Socket-headed screw through the banged up side, press nut on the opposite side, and then look, all you gotta do is kind of hold the press nut with your fingers until the little bitey bits start to bite, and then once they start to bite, you just turn this screw. And the screw is gonna rotate the little bitey bits in and pull them into the carbon. It's the perfect little setup. And then you'll feel it when it gets really hard to turn. You do got to put some strength into this because it is digging itself into the carbon. But you'll feel when it bottoms out. There it is. And then you can just release the screw because it has dug itself into the carbon with that directionality. With that rotation, I should say. So when you pull the screw out, it doesn't take the press nut with it because of the direction of the little diagonal bitey bits. Only technical terms here on this channel. All right, let me get. I think there's a whole bunch of chats that I missed. Some of them probably saying, "Hey, fuckhead, you're turning them the wrong way." Where were we? There it is, metal dirt skin. If those are the press nuts, I'm thinking you want to turn them clockwise to release. At 3:37, almost an hour ago. Big FPV says, we got that. I think I still have your address from when I sent you the Crossfire Nanos. Nice, Big. Awesome. Yeah, same address. Double A says, also my Rad-X with the old DYSF4 has a setting of like 425. Is that still okay? Rad-X. Setting of like 425. Oh, for the current sensing? Oh, I have no idea. That setting is completely specific to each individual flight controller. The way that I dial that in is I put MAH used in the bottom right corner of my OSD. I fly a battery. I bring it home at the normal point, you know, like 3.5 volts per cell, and I look and see how much MAH has been used. If that number is too high, I bring the scale. If that number is too high, you actually move the scale up, I believe. And then if that number is too low, you move the scale down. I just basically change the scale and see if it makes it better or worse. If it makes it better, I keep dialing it in. If it makes it worse, I go the opposite direction. It's the caveman approach. T-Bird FPV is in the house. He says, I have an extra prototype 5 for you. Damn, you guys, why do you guys have so many prototype 5s that aren't built? Alpha Saul says, vice grips time. I actually don't have vice grips. I really need to get a set of vice grips. I've never had a set, and there's been all these situations where I'm like, fuck, vice grips would be good. And then I always forget. Riot9 says, put a screw to push it up to help it out. T-Bird says, that's what she said, double nut. Robin Duckett says, 2 nuts will do ya. See? It wasn't just me. Robin also thought that the double nut method would work. J Drone says, I use the double nut method when fitting all thread to compressor crankcases or anything else for that matter. Nice. There's Blizzard FPV's $5 Canadian dollar super chat. Thank you again, Blizzard. Metal Dirksen says, the ones Bob uses in his molar frame just pop out if you turn them clockwise a bit. Yeah, these would have too. Remy Tim says, just put a screw on the other side and tighten, right? That's the install method. I think at 3:49 p.m. when Remy posted that, we were removing them. But whatever. We got it all figured out now. Robin Duckett with a £5 super chat. Thank you, Robin. He says, good luck, man. I needed it. It's Darts says, press it out. Alec Dvornik says, put a screw through the press nut, butt a nut against... Why am I a fucking 8-year-old? Butt a nut against the press nut, tight, twist the screw, and then the nuts away... And the nuts away from the carbon. Put a screw through the press nut, butt a nut against the press nut, tight, twist the screw. I can't think through it, but by now in the stream we've figured it out and we're good to go. Big FPV says put a screw on the other side and tighten it to rotate it out. We talked about that. Robin Duckett with a screw the nut, press nut, cinch the nut. We got there. Blizzard FPV says hammer. Alec Dvornik says Robin Duckett has it. Tim Coker says we got that. I think this is where I then got through some of these. Yeah. Here we go. So I got through a bunch of these. Robin Duckett says, you watch Rich Rebuilds? I do not. I haven't heard of that, Robin. What's Rich Rebuilds? Uper says, hard on the hole t-shirt in the works. What was the hard on the hole full quote? Did I just say it's kind of hard on the holes? Then there's that. Metadirtson says, the little threads... Yep, we got that. Got that. Gel Captain says, late to the party, it's all good, Gel. EE Doc says, tuning into the We Bleed Championship races tonight, 4 hours from now on the Perspective Image YouTube channel. Probably not, EE Doc. I haven't flown in a while, so I really need to get out and fly. I don't know where, but I've got 7 or 8 batteries charged. I'm just going to go out and fly after this. Maybe that tree spot. I've really had a good time at that. Let me get. If I'm gonna go to the tree spot, I'm gonna bring all my batteries because it's grass crashes, grass crash, 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 crashes, 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 trash, trash, crash, 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 trash, trash, trash. Trash, 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 crash, crashes, trash, trash, crash, crashes, trash, trash, crash, trashes. trashy, 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 grassy, grashy, crashy, trashy, trashy, grashy. Trashes, grasses, grasses, trashes, trashes, trash and grass, grass and trash. Smoke that grass, trash on the grass, grass on the trash, on the crash and the trash and the grass and the trash and the mass and the fast and the twass and the twat. Crashes, 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 trashes, crash in the grass if you have a nosebleed. If I'm going to go to that spot, I'm going to bring all my batteries because all of the crashes are in the grass where nothing breaks. That's what I was trying to say. But instead I said, grass in the trashes, trash in the grasses, grass and trash and trash and grass and trash and grass and trash and grass and trash and trash and grass and trash, 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 trash. Moving right along. Robin Duckett says, you missed my super chat, but it's moot now. Where is it, Robin Duckett? Oh, we got it now. We got it now. That's pretty normal, Robin. I get really, really behind. And then sometimes I'll just look over. Look. This is what happens when I sing. This is the least surprising thing I've ever seen. DM4DS Works says, can you please take a second look on the thread direction on the good nuts against your screws and the direction you tried turning them in? Good thinking, DM4DS. Big FPV says, have it all, send it all. No worries, Big. We are good to go now. I figured things out. Frank Nicholas says, screw removal pliers. Fuck are these? Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if they would grab hard enough. These, those were really buried in there. Well, you know, they actually wouldn't have gotten them because I was spinning them the wrong goddamn way. But those are interesting. That would also explain why the needle nose pliers were slipping. These are actually really nice needle nose pliers. These are Tecton. There's a post on the Patreon talking about tools and us doing tool reviews together that I haven't updated. But I do have these Tecton needle nose pliers on there, and these are really good, really good needle nose pliers. Nice beefy handles, and yeah, just a beefy set of needle nose. Tecton over on Amazon. Really nice. I've had these for a little while now, and they grab real good. But I am intrigued by these screw removal pliers. I'm gonna leave this tab open. 22 bucks is a lot, but good tools are expensive. BeepTube says, I much prefer the vertical bitey bits. The problem with the vertical bitey bits is that they strip out in the hole, and then you're fucked. Yeah. So the vertical bitey bits, you have to press them in, so that's the other problem. You have to have a press to put them in. And then over time, those little vertical bites, you know, you crank your arm screws down, and it moves a little bit, and then you back the arm screw out, and it moves, and eventually it just wobbles itself out there. The diagonal bitey bits, they rotate and screw themselves in, so when you crank the arms down, it's actually pulling it even harder, and then when you release the arms, it's kind of releasing it, And yeah, I've had I've had a lot of the vertical bitey bits strip out on me. I've had none of these guys strip out on me. So I've moved to these. I don't use the vertical ones anymore. We got that. And Paul McDonald says, strength comes from the inside. Yeah. Yeah. Correct on so many levels. Hey, if you get selected to go to the private flow state screening, and if you'd like, send me your YouTube name, send me a message at CiottiFPV somewhere, Facebook, Instagram, fucking smoke signals, wherever you'd like, with your YouTube name and your human being name, and I'm making a list. And before the flow state screening, we'll all get together and I'll take you guys to a couple of my local spots. And then Joshua is trying to figure out a venue for everybody to hang out. There's going to be 140 people. So it's going to be a world-class shit show here in Atlanta that Saturday. So I think those of you that want to hang out with me, I think we're just going to go to my local spots, Stables, the dive corner spot, and the tree tunnel spot is what I'm thinking off the top of my head, because you guys will actually have a chance at getting a bunch of batteries in those spots. If we go to like the more famous Atlanta spots, which are a lot farther away, there are going to be 140 pilots in town, so more than likely there's going to be people there already, and more than likely those spots are going to get... I'm actually really worried that security is going to get pissed off enough from it that we lose some spots on that Saturday, but whatever. I mean, there are plenty of spots here in Atlanta, but yeah, I don't really think it would be a great idea to try to... Is it raining out? To try to hit any of the more famous spots, because they're just going to be overrun with people. And yeah, at some point security is going to kick people out, and then more people are going to show up, and it's... I don't know, we'll see. We're going to find out. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing a couple of my local spots here in Alpharetta that you guys have seen a million times, let me know, and we'll hang. Vern Kelk says hello. Double A says, if I can make it, I have a ticket to Flow State, so are you doing a thing and going? I'm definitely going. Joshua browbeat me into it, which is awesome. I wasn't going to go because I've already seen it. I got to see it at Rampage, and I figured I would rather have, somebody else that hasn't seen it sit in my seat. But Joshua said that one of the reserved seats is for me, so nobody else would sit in that seat anyway. It would just be an empty seat, so I might as well come. Bob Knox says, hey chat, hey Ciotti, what's up Bob? Rick Can FPV says, you just went blurry? That's weird. This camera is on manual focus, so there shouldn't be... Oh, looks like the stream went to hell. LOL, he's glitching, we lost him, somebody reboot him, no. I assume that I'm back now. Everything says excellent condition on YouTube, so should be back. Gel Captain says, I would like to challenge you to pronounce my name right, so the last E of my name, pronounce it as a U, like So that would be Gelum. Really? Gelum? Captain? Really? Jelle becomes, in cheeseburger language, Jellum, essentially? Pronounce it as a U. Jella. Or is it Jella? Where's the M come from? That's crazy, Jellum. Is it Jellum? He says H_HM. So I'm gonna... Alright. Is it Jellum? Or is it Jella? Jelhm? HM-HM? Jella... Oh, Jellum. Jellum? Is it Jellum? He just keeps typing -HM. That doesn't help. Do a phonetic for me. So like J dash E L L. You know what I mean? Okay. So he types Jellu. Jellu. Jellu? Is it Jellu? Mountain Erickson says we should all we should all examine our nuts more carefully. You're probably right, Metal. Moblade says, I'm going to go out for 5 packs here soon. Want some company. Mo, are you local? I have a hard time keeping everybody's YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook names straight in my head. Riot9 says, caught up on 5-inch Friday. Stoked to have some purple and red on my Apex. Hell yeah, Riot. I hope you're ready. I think it's good to go. I think I just need to put... Oh, let's do that. Oh, well, no. We have more work to do here. Well, let's do that. Jelly, gel hum. Jellu, jelly. No, that's DQ saying jelly. It's not jelly, DQ. Jellu? Is it Jellu? I think it's Jellu. Or is it Jella? Alright, type 1 if it's Jellu. Type 2 if it's Jella. How about that? Let me do this real quick. This won't take long. Let me throw my tune. Did I already do this? I did that. I did that on the Apex. At the end of the stream, I put my tune on the Apex. Okay, number 2. Right, 9 types number 3. So number 2. So that, what did I say for number 2? Jella. So it's Jella. Jella Captain. Jella Captain. I'm just going to pronounce it as one big word. I'm going to forget for sure. Moblade says we met at Rampage due to flight footage flying into Rampage. I said, I remember you, Mo. Very cool. So it's Jella. I'm gonna forget that. Next time I mispronounce it, Jella, tag me and type Jelluh. Because that's, in my brain, that's the phonetic. Yeah, Remy Tim just typed it. Jelluh. That's the phonetic for my name in my cheeseburger mind. Alright, I can't procrastinate doing these press nuts anymore. Let's get them done. Let's get them done, goddammit. Well, it's raining, so yeah, I'm not flying. Hold on. No batteries. No. Okay, they're already at 4.15. Might as well let them finish. That's what she said! Hey! Yikes. Might as well let him finish. CiottiFPV 2021. Yes! That will be the remainder, that will be the saying for the remainder of 2021 for me. Might as well let him finish. Don't worry about it, DQ. We got to the bottom of it. Jella says your last pronunciation was perfect. Jella, do me a favor. Just go ahead and change your YouTube name to Jelluh. That's probably the only way I'll remember. I might actually remember now. Now that, you know, we like went through it 100 times. Once I've said someone's name, you know, 80, 90 times, I typically remember it. Might as well let him finish. What every woman that's ever been with me has thought. Hi-oh! That's what she thought while I was sweating all over her. Oh, I laugh to keep from crying. This is gonna be a long year, boys and girls. This is gonna be a long fucking year. You're gonna get to see me go off the goddamn reservation. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it right now. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. Yuck, 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 yuck. Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. So let me try a different tact with this one. Let me screw this one in a little bit, just to the point where the little bitey bastards start to bite. And then I'm gonna come up on top here with a little wrench, excuse me, and I'm going to crank it in. Let's see if this grabs. Now let me crank this a little bit more. I want to make sure that the press nut has the ability to turn a little bit. Like, you can certainly just crank it down. But what I noticed on that last one is it didn't look like... It's kind of hard to see the press nut rotating. Usually I can kind of watch it rotate a little bit more than that last one did. I want to make sure that it's kind of cranking itself into the little hole there. I think it's maybe because the opposite side of the carbon is kind of like wallowed out, maybe. Usually you've got the full thickness of the carbon, but man, it is really cranking in there good. I think it's totally fine. I think it only rotates a tiny little bit, and that's probably why I can't see it rotating. But what's concerning is there's a bunch of carbon fiber dust coming out when I remove the screw. And that's making me a little bit worried. Because again, usually this is not the behavior of these little things, and I'm worried it's because of the fact that the opposite side of this carbon is kind of mangled. But the fact that I'm able to crank this socket-headed screw down so hard at the end there, I mean, that's kind of all that matters. Like, it's holding on to the point where I can really jack it off. What the fuck is wrong with me? So yeah. I'm pretty sure it's fine. Just want to kind of do everything I can. Yeah, see, it's fine. I can't see the little... Yeah, no, these are fine. These are fine. It's, the extra carbon fiber dust is probably just... I don't know what it is. But this is, these feel very strong going in here. And it looks good, like you can see it. Let me actually look at it with the 5X loop on the bottom here. Let me... Yeah, see, the important thing is that I can't see, like, the diagonal bitey bits are fully, like, they're basically uncircumcised, and they're fully sheathed. And in this case, that's a good thing. What the fuck? Alright, moving on. AA says, the Spreech was the first and only frame I have that came with press nuts. I tried to put one in, and it was a little hard on the hole, so I put them in the trash. Yeah, they can be a little hard on the hole sometimes. All right, yeah, no, this one went in the way that I would expect it, so I think we're good here. I think I'm just being a little crazy. A little crazy. A lot crazy to you. And there's always going to be... Oh, yeah. No. The carbon fiber is fine. The carbon fiber is what the little diagonal bastards are pushing out. They have to push... They have to make a little groove. A bunch of little grooves, actually. So that's what they're pushing out. Yeah. Yeah, we're fine. Right. Of course. A horse. Of course, a horse. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, cool. That makes me feel better. Come on. Go. Stop cross-threading, you jackass. Jella says, changing my name will get me in trouble in the Netherlands. Layman Board says, I threw UAV text preset on my 5-inch and it was flying like shit. I put low-pass filter cutoff to 60 and it flies a ton better, but motors are getting pretty hot. Layman Board giving a great example of why using other people's tunes is really risky and has a tendency to really not give you great results. Your tune really needs to be specific to your frame, your motors, your flight controller, how clean you build. There's a lot of factors that go into it. I have an article over on the Patreon page under the tag of Tech Talk with a really nice, quick and dirty way to tune so that you can get yourself a custom tune that you've done by yourself the easy way so that it's specifically dialed in for your exact rig, your exact build style, your exact flying style, all the good things. Let me get a little washer action going on here to make sure that this socket head screw has a good flat contact patch on the carbon fiber, because the carbon fiber is a little worked on this side, and I want to make sure that I don't weaken it at all. I don't really need to be doing this, but this is like you know, triple checking something just to make absolutely sure that there's no issue. And it takes that much time, which was basically no time at all. So let's get this going here. And I'm going to really crank this one down because I could see that this press nut was kind of going in a little crooked. And now it is all better. I also like to really crank on these press nuts when I install them. Because if they're going to strip out, I want them to strip out now. I don't want them to strip out on an arm change. I mean, especially because, you know, I'm sending these rigs out. But just in general, like, when I'm doing assembly, I crank stuff down really hard for that same exact reason. Like, strip out now so that I can fix you and learn, rather than stripping out once the rig is all together. When, you know, I don't need it to. I don't want it to. Okay. Oh, you know, this is interesting. Using this washer also allows me to turn this screw head a little bit easier, because the screw head is rotating against the washer now rather than rotating against the carbon, and the metal on metal is smoother than metal on carbon. So that's kind of cool. You should all use a washer here where I'm using it. That, like, wow, it makes it a lot easier. Holy Christ. That's a big difference. That is a big difference. Okay. Definitely not necessary. Like, it totally works without the washer here, but it works way better with the washer there. And that's just like an M3 or M5 washer. I forget what... I think it's M3. It's just like an M3 stainless steel washer. Nothing special. Alright. Another one here. Double A says, now you're talking. Double A also says, Shane Ridge, that might be a little hard on the hole. DM4DS says use the double nut method and screw on the lower one. How would the double nut method work here? I mean, this is, I don't think there's any disadvantage to doing it this way. This is kind of the perfect way to do it in my mind, because the screw is both pulling and twisting, and it's twisting in the correct direction, and it's pulling in the correct direction. So I can't really think through what using the double nut method here would improve on. Because to use the double nut method here, I'd have to be using a longer screw, and then I would put nuts on the top, and then so what that would do, in my mind at least, is it would try to rotate this these press nuts in without pulling them in at the same time, and I really prefer having both the rotation and the pulling both at once, to make sure that they the pulling is what digs the little fingers into the carbon, and then the rotation, they only rotate a tiny little bit. Like they only really rotate like maybe an eighth of a turn, which is why I can't, it's really hard to see it rotating in there. So that's it. That's all 8 of them for the base plate. That is good news. We've salvaged this base plate. And then we've got one extra that's going to go into this version 2 2mm plate, which is pretty awesome. Whoever the hell won this rig is going to get the thicker bottom plate here, since... Oh, well, no, I guess this one's not stripped out. Yeah, whatever. I don't really have a use. Well, do I have a use for this one? Oh, they're both 2mm. Okay, hold on. Well, let me see if I can salvage this one then. Now that I'm turning things in the correct fucking direction. Let's just throw this in here. Let's see. So, now that we're spinning this in the right direction, let's put this here, and like magic, I bet you it'll work. Man, I've been dealing with these press nuts for a while. I don't know what got into me earlier in the stream. Alright, so no, that is stripped in that direction, but as we saw with the base plate, I should just be able to flip this around, because the little bitey bastards, they don't go all the way through. They only really engage with half of the carbon thickness. So let's see. Let's see if this... Yep, there it goes. And let's give it a really hard crank. Oh yeah, it's totally fine. Ugh, you'll never ever crank it that hard in the real world. Sweet! So, good to go. Now I just need to reverse where these standoffs are. I'm now done with this socket-headed and 3x5. Alright, so we can now drop the electronic squid back on. I'm going to take a minute to figure out the flight controller ESC spacing, and then we'll probably be at the end of the stream, although we kind of already are, 1 hour and 50 minutes. That's fine, though. Since it's raining, I'll just keep streaming until we're done here. Maybe it'll stop raining and there'll be a cool little golden hour at the tree spot. 1 and 2. Hey-ya! Okay. Cool. And reverse. Screw. Crank. Move on. What else we got? EEDoc says it's better when CiottiFPV mispronounces your username and country's currency. Yeah, I do both of those a lot. Luke Beam says, what's up? DM4, oh, we talked about that. You're welcome for the nut fun, DM4S. Remy Tim says, Beep Tube could have finished adding his race wires twice in the amount of time you've been working on these press nuts. Yeah, these press nuts always seem to attack me. They always seem to just be generally annoying in my general direction. Generally. Here we go. We are cooking with a grease fire, burning the building down. What do I do now? This frame is confusing. Got Loctite everywhere. Got wood glue all over this this goddamn microfiber that I keep using. Okay, bottom plate, camera side plates. Christ, I don't remember how this shit goes together now. Isn't it like that? Is it like that? I think it's like that. No, it's like that. Yeah, it's like that. Is it like that? It's like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Ah, get in there. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So it's like that, and then it's like, nope. Wrong way. It's like that. There we go. Okay, cool. So that goes there, that goes there, this goes in here, that goes in there. This guy goes up here, like this. And then we can put that one screw in to kind of lock that little fella down. Or no, wait, wait a second. What? Oh, it's on here. It's on here. Yeah. Right. Okay. Riot 9 with $4 Australian and 20 Australian cents towards your nuts fund. Thank you, Riot 9. I'll buy $4.20, the weed numbers worth of nuts. Man, there's a lot of screws on the table now. Okay. So we've got the electronics package here. Let's try to make some sense of it. What I'm going to do is put the arms on and then take a nap. Well, I guess now's my time to decide. Am I going to flip the ESC over like I did on the one yesterday? I think I am. I think I'm going to flip the ESC over on this one as well. Let me just check these solder joints. Those look good. And those look good. So yeah, I think I'm just going to do it. Let's put the... This is a good time to put the stack mount screws back in here, which are going to be here. And the holes in the carbon are tight enough that they kind of thread in on their own. So let's get that going. This fella's in here. Put the nuts below them, and I think we're gonna. There's a chance that we're not gonna have quite enough room for the ESC, but we'll figure that out in a minute. If we don't, I might have. So the plastic nuts are 2 millimeters tall. There's a chance that I've got some 3 millimeter tall spacers, and And that will fix that problem, which will be great. Alrighty. Got these little guys here. Okay. A couple more, and we'll be in business. I'm always so tempted to get one of those little $100 electric screwdrivers. It's basically a TS100 but a screwdriver. It's got like a PID controller in it and shit. It's all fancy. It's a rechargeable little power screwdriver. But man, $100 is kind of ridiculous. And like, right now is the only time that it would actually be useful. And like, this didn't really take much time. And it kind of feels like the amount of time that it would take me to like get it out, put the right bit on it, and then use it, I can just do it by hand. I'm very experienced at doing it by hand. Robert Davis finally has 2 3-inch quads. Good shit, Robert. Hopefully they're identical, because I always preach building identical rigs. It is amazing. You can part share between them. You can really lock in your muscle memory because they're the exact same thing. In terms of trying to get good as a pilot, having multiple identical rigs is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. The next best thing you can do yourself is to head on over to CiottiFPV.com and hit that Fiverr link. I'm doing flight coaching, motherfuckers! I actually messaged TweetFPV before the stream because I saw that he'd done a giveaway over on his Patreon. I was like, yo! Any interest in, when you do your giveaways, giving away a 30-minute flight coaching by CiottiFPV thing? So I'm hoping that he likes that idea. Because yeah, TweetFPV supports my giveaways every other week by giving away a set of his fantastic transmitter grips. So yeah, it would be really good to give back to him. I didn't realize that he was doing giveaways. So yeah, that'd be fucking cool. Just keep that work trade life moving. I don't know what that means. All right, good deal. So, let's see if this ESC will cooperate being mounted upside down. That is the question. What the fuck? What? Stop it, arm! Get out of here! What? Stop! What? Okay. Okay, I've had enough of your shit. You get out of the way. You get over there. Okay. Okay, there we go. Early signs are not good. Arm, get out of there. Why? Why you do this? Okay, there we go. No, now you're getting in the fucking way. You get over the... Can you... Would you just get the fuck... Okay, there we go. There we go, okay. Alright, so let's see how this is. We're gonna rotate the arms so that they're... What the... What? How the hell? Did Nevin build these rear arms backwards? What is that even possible? What? How is this? Oh no, they're right. They're correct. They're correct. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Everything's fine. Everybody just relax. God damn it. You guys are so reactionary. This is not gonna work. What's hitting? It's kind of like everything is hitting. Jesus. My God, everything's hitting. Okay. So let's put it the normal way. And I want to see how low the lowest point of the ESC is. I think that I'm going to have to desolder all these motors and resolder them all back on. I'm just going to call that out now. And if it doesn't happen, great. If it does happen, then I'm a fucking genius. So there it is, normal. The lowest point, all right, so see, this is the problem, is that there's press nuts below where the ESC is. That's one of the other things I like about the Glide. There are no press nuts below where the ESC is. So that gives you a little bit more room for the ESC. The main problem here, though, is it's a fairly tight stack mount. And we've got a lot of extra wire here kind of bunched up. So I'm just gonna bite the bullet and desolder these motors, I think. Because the press nuts are gonna get, I can't just flip this ESC upside down. Yeah, that's gonna have to be the deal. So this is gonna take a whole bunch longer. That's okay though. Let's just keep going. The only way through it is through it. What the fuck does that mean? Alright, so let's just rip off the Band-Aid and start desoldering. Get some fresh flux on these guys. So yeah, I'm going to have to desolder these, and then I'm going to have to measure them short, cut them, tin them, resolder them, and then we can bolt everything back together. Then I'll put my tune on the flight controller, and then we can ship this thing on out. Robert Davis says, I have the Diatone 369 GTR, and the other is an AK-123 LDARC or a 103 LDARC. Gonna need your help with one of the radios. Sounds good, Robert. Alright. Although I gotta be honest, radios are not my strong suit. I do everything I possibly can to not have to use OpenTX. But luckily, Project Blue Falcon and Joshua Bardwell have a ton of really good content on here surrounding OpenTX and how to do stuff on the radios. So yeah, I always just refer to their stuff, really, when it comes to needing to do radio stuff. So regardless, we will get it done. If you can't figure it out, I'll look up their videos for you, and then, yeah, be good to go. So, away we go. Removing these motor wires. Alright. There's one. 2. Oh man, the size of the solder blob on the tip of the soldering iron right now is amazing. Oh, it's huge. It's growing. Look at my blob. Oh man, it just it just dropped on the microfiber cloth. And solder plus microfiber is not a good combination. It really it melts into the strands. It's crazy. Oh boy. Well, whatever. That's fine. That's there for life. Okay. One side down. Let's hop onto the other side. Kind of glad it went this way, because I did notice that one of these motor wires has a little bit of a nick in it, where it got sandwiched in between the ESC and the flight controller. So this is good here. Okay, here comes motor number 1. Get that one going. Come on, let go. Let go. All right. And there we go. All right. Last one. Cool. Great. Now I dropped a blob of solder on the soldering tip reconditioner. I'm getting solder everywhere right now. Shit. Let me just clean these pads up a little bit. They have a little bit too much solder on them. When Nevin put these wires in on the inside direction, he had to bring the wires basically straight down on the pads, and in order to do that, you have to use more solder. I'm going to solder these things sideways and diagonally outwards, in which case you don't need or even want, to be honest, this much extra solder. So I'm just sort of prepping it to be able to do that by flicking some of this solder off. Well, I'm trying to. It's not really working all that well. What I'm going to do is actually grab some solder braid and remove some of the solder the right way. So let's just knock that out real quick here. Get some solder braid going here. There. 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 Oh, no, don't weld yourself to the pad. No, stop it. Solder braid, stop it. Solder braid, stop. Thank you. All right. This is just going to pick up some of the extra solder off of these pads. Solder braid is... Try not to breathe this shit in. We work on this stuff infrequently enough where it doesn't really matter, but there is lead in the fumes, I believe. So if your face is right over it and the fumes are coming up, the smoke is coming up into your face, just try to always be breathing out. And then when you go to breathe in, move your head over here. All right, so now I removed a ton of the solder from these. Let me just put the iron back down to flow the pad one more time and smooth the solder that's on each pad out a little bit. So like that, sort of like that, like that, like that, that, and that. Well, that looks better. All right, cool. One side is cleaned up. Let's get the other side going here. Oops, solder ball down. I wonder where that one went. Fuck. Hopefully it's not in a motor. It's probably just over here. Try to keep track of your solder balls. CiottiFPV, keeping track of his solder balls since 2019. That's not true, since like 2017. Because even before the live stream, I was really good about my balls. Be good about your balls, people. They're good to you. You be good to them. You're worth it. Ah! Let's do this. Let's cut a little piece of this off. Stop working with the spool. If you're going to do this, hold this with tweezers, because it's going to get real fucking hot. So hold it with tweezers. Oh, God, excuse me. Hold it with tweezers and do some wicking. Wick away your worries with solder wick. Not a solder sucker. Don't use solder suckers. They're bad for you. They're not bad for you. They're bad for the pads. Ah! Come on. Solder wick is much gentler on the solder pads. And the fucking last thing that we need to be doing is giving these shitty-ass electronics that we have to deal with another reason to fail. So, yeah. Be nice to your pads and use solder braid to remove solder, not a solder sucker. Man, this solder braid has just sucked up all the solder. I wanted to try to pull a little bit more off this one pad, but it's probably actually fine. Let's see. All right. Put this. I'm going to take solder off a couple of these pads that have too much of it. I'm going to transfer it down to this one on the end that has a little bit too little, just out of kind of laziness, to be honest. Now it's fine. Alright, just putting a little bit of heat into each one of these pads to clean it up so that when I put the wire down on it, it's a nice flat mating surface. Good. So ESC is prepped, ready to go. I think what I'm going to do is bolt the arms on at this point, and then that'll help me to get the wire length dialed in, and then I'll cut them, solder them, and yeah, we'll be good to go. So this arm is up front. Let's get this guy going. Whoo, ESC is hot as a mother. Nope, arms go the other way. So this one goes back here. Wait, no, the back arms are gonna have much longer wires than the front arms. Here's the back arm. Okay, back arm, front arm, back arm. Got it. And then which back arm is which is the next question. So, well, you know, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna cut these down and shorten them. So this is gonna be fine. Let's just bolt these guys on and start boogieing. So rear, front. This one's gonna go over here. Oh wait, no, I can't really. Yeah, I mean I can switch them, but I would have to rotate the motors, and that's just stupid. So let's just go like this, and then we're gonna take our sandwich plate here, and we're gonna make a sandwich. Ready? BeepTube says, but you still don't want to breathe it. Yeah, that's why I move my head way off to the side. The fumes go straight up, and then I can move my head like 5 feet away. And then I even I kind of breathe out of this side of my mouth so that I'm pulling air from as far away as possible. And yeah, working on a quad, you know, breathing the residuals of those fumes once a week, twice a week for a couple of minutes is, yeah, very, very limited exposure. It's the people that work in the plants that breathe that shit all day, every day, that have to kind of worry about it. Yeah, this is fun. I mean, ideally, you don't want to expose yourself to it at all, but it's worth it for us to be able to experience the joy of flight. Damn, look at that. Remy Tim got a website up before I did. That is the least surprising thing ever. FPVmentor.com is Remy Tim's website. If you or somebody that you know is trying to get into the hobby, Daniel can help. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your kidnappers, whoever you're interacting with. Make sure they know about the majesty of FPV flight, and then send them to Mauer's website, or I will kill you all. Your choice. Death or work with Remy Tim. It's a pretty easy decision. Okay, almost there with the little sandwich plate here. Also known as an X plate, but this one's not in the shape of an X, so I call it a sandwich plate. And hopefully the holes through the arms are not so tight that they're threaded. If they are, this is going to be a fucking pain in the ass. I should have checked that before I did this, but too late now. And then we've got this little shorty guy for the front camera plate. The very last press nut that we did there. Alright, there we go. That's all of them bitches. And so let's see what happens here. Let's get these guys. Actually, let's do this. Let me do this. I'm going to try to get these lined up off of... Yeah, this tends to be a little bit easier to do it this way. Just kind of, this way you can push them downwards instead of pushing them upwards into the sandwich plate. So I don't have to get them all the way down, I just kind of want to get them started so that the arms are sort of stuck to the sandwich plate. And then I can drop the whole thing down and kind of line it up. Although I do need some of these screws to poke all the way through to go into the base plate. So let's just crank a couple of these down because it looks like the holes in the arms are a little bit too tight for these to just slide through, which I like from a performance and a strength standpoint. So it's kind of a good problem to have. It makes assembly a little bit more difficult, but it's worth the extra strength, in my opinion, in the long run. Alright, so there we go with the front arms. Now we're just going to drop the rear arms on here as well. And that one's on the wrong side. That's not going to work. That's going to work. Okay, and then here, and let's do the same thing and just give these screws a little cheeky tighten. Alright, almost there. That one's coming through. At this point, you don't want to crank these screws all the way tight. Because again, we're threading them through these arms. We also need to thread them through the through the press nuts. And so yeah, just get them a little bit tight until they flatten out on the top of the arms. Move your wires out of the way so you don't pinch them, and drop it down. So now we just get these guys lined up on the base plate, get these goddamn motor wires out of the way again. Make sure nobody's getting pinched. That's important. And cool. Okay, so now we can start screwing these down into the press nuts. Hey, there we go. And I'm just gonna go around and gradually crank these guys down. There's if you try to bury them one at a time, there's going to be a point where everything gets kind of diagonal, and it's not going to be a good day. So just take them down like kind of one at a time, a little bit at a time here. Might as well pull this off. So there's one less thing being a pain in the ass. Okay. Rear's going in real nice. Now let's move to the front. We can try to put this center one in. There's too much of a gap right now. Got to get these arms cranked down a little bit. There we go. Again, just making really sure that the motor wires don't get pinched here. Usually the motor wires aren't like all taped down by this point, but in this case they are because it's because of the rebuild status, which is fine. All right, we are almost there. There's that middle one, getting nice and tight there on that camera cage plate bolt thing. Okay, so now they're all relatively tight, so now we can come around and really crank on them and be really mean to our nuts. Being mean to your nuts since 2017. Screwing them down hard since 2017. June Logo says, "Are you getting the new Mambo?" Probably not. It doesn't really do anything that the QX7 doesn't, and so yeah, no real reason to switch. If you're just getting into the hobby, though, it seems like a great option. But yeah, I mean, a transmitter is a transmitter. It really doesn't doesn't do anything. No real reason for anybody that already has a transmitter to switch, in my opinion. It's just going to force you to have to relearn more muscle memory, so it's, you know, just another thing to make it harder on your path of getting good, if that's what you're going for in the hobby. If you just like buying shit, then yeah, I mean, by all means. But it doesn't seem to really do anything of value for any of us that already have transmitters. All right, we are good to go with the arms. Cool. Nice and tight, just the way I like it. And now we've got to shorten some motor wires and cut them, tin them, zap them down. Whoo! This turned into a way bigger project than I thought. That's okay, though. Let's just take one last look at mounting this ESC upside down. Yeah, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. the back of the heat shield actually hits the little nuts over here. What I am going to do, though, is route this ESC to flight controller cable under the ESC rather than over the ESC, because then I'll be able to use very thin or maybe no spacers at all, potentially, on top of... No, I'll definitely have to use spacers, but I'll be able to use more a thinner set of spacers under the ESC, which is a good thing. Sorry, between the ESC and the flight controller, not under the ESC. So, yeah. That's going to be really good. All right. Technically speaking, I could just solder these wires up and there'd be a bunch of extra wire, and you could maybe like run the extra wire around the standoffs like this. Actually, not a terrible idea, because it would really protect the motor wire. Oh, wow. And these are kind of the perfect length to do that. You know what? I'm going to do that in the rear, because that's actually really nice. And that's something that I noticed when I built my Prototype 5, is that I ended up building it with the motor wires out here, and there's this run where these motor wires are kind of out flopping in nowhere. It really kind of makes sense to tuck them in like this. So that is pretty awesome, because that's going to protect them. Yeah, there's a set of standoffs that goes here that I've removed. So I'm not going to put those standoffs back on yet. Fuck yeah. That's awesome. All right, great. Great. So that saves me a little bit of work. So I'm not going to chop these down. I'm going to leave the extra wire length and the... yeah, so they're basically going to run... They're going to run like this. Out and inside of that standoff, and then up here, and then it's going to go down to the pad like that. So let's get that rolling here. We're going to do the outside one first, as we always do. As we always do about this time. Wah, 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 wah. Who knows that song? Who knows that song for my terrible singing of it? Anybody? Nobody. The only lyric that'll give you hope is, like we always do about this time. I think that's the lyric. I'm terrible with lyrics, though, so I could be wrong. I could be getting the words all fucked up. I have a tendency to do that. Alright, here we go. Let me stop bouncing my legs like a fucking maniac, so that we can get some good solid solder joints here. Solder joints here. There's one. Let's see if what... Patio Patterson says 3052s are still the best fast 3-inch prop. Yeah, definitely. The most pitch is always going to be the most speed, because as the speed increases, the pitch of the prop becomes more and more important as it tries to shovel more air. Think about like the air coming in as the speed increases. The air coming in is going to be coming in straight more on like a more straight path towards the prop. So you need the extra pitch to make up for the fact that the air is kind of coming in a different direction, is kind of a way to think about it. Alright, there we go. Last one on motor number 3. And soldering the wires, if you're new here, soldering them on this diagonal, the way that I'm doing it, basically keeps the wires out of harm's way as much as possible. I crash my rigs a lot, and when I'm crashing through trees, all the little bits of scraggle come in like this, and they try to eat your motor wires. So by soldering the motor wires like this is the best possible way to protect them from that happening, because they're not well, technically speaking, the best way to protect them from this happening is to go inwards with them, but when you go inwards with them, you run into issues with stack height, which is the reason that I am resoldering all of these, because we couldn't get the stack flat enough. So there we go. There's the 3 motor wires. Oh man, this one is really long. This inside one is like outrageously long. That's too much. That's too much. I have to shit. Damn. Okay, I gotta redo this one. So what I'm trying to do here is put a little bit more of an angle on this second motor wire to fold it under a little bit better, which is also going to give me access to the first motor pad where I want to, yeah, there we go, where I want to remove this one. So that might have looked weird what I was doing there, but that's all it was. I just needed to get access to this first pad so that I can remove it like that. Okay, so let's get the length on this figured out here. So it's going to come up like that, and then it's going to come over, and I want it to be roughly as long as these other little fellas here. So let's just say right around there. Ooh. And let's cut it right about there. That should be just about right. Strip it with our fingernails, which is the safest way to strip wires. Pull the silicone back a little bit. I actually didn't strip quite enough off. The only problem with stripping it with your fingernails is if you don't strip enough off, it becomes really hard to go back and do it again. But if you're just really gentle with your pliers, or with your flush cutters, you'll be totally fine. So we're going to put it up like that, and come on in here, tin it, plop it back down. Alright, we're tinned, and put it back down on the pad. Pad was looking a little janky. Just wanted to clean it up there. Who else is building? Who in the chat is building? You should all be building. Let my streams be the motivation to build. We all need motivation to build, because it's the shittiest part of the hobby, in my opinion. In most opinions, I should say. Let me just take a quick look at this with a 5x loop. Make sure that we don't have any weird bridging going on. Nah, we're good. We good. Okay, cool. And on to the next. So this one is going to absolutely need to get trimmed down, and I might actually even need to pull this arm off. I think it might have stopped raining though. Hold on, let me. Robin Duckett's building. Hold on, let me look outside real quick. Oh, it's very gray out. Very gray. Very humid. Ugh. There's cobwebs everywhere. Look out the front door. Hold on. What? Closed door. What? 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 Oh God, it's disgusting. Oh, it's so fucking humid. Are you shitting me? It's never been this humid anywhere ever. This is the most humid day in the history of the world. That should make that shadow a little bit less evident. Move that lamp out a little bit. Ah! Ah! Hello again, fuckers. Robin Duckett says, that's what she said, maybe. Metal Durskin says, I went out to grab coffee and you're still streaming and I have no further reasons to put off building. Coffee, sticky, yeah, it's disgusting. I don't, hold on, let's look at weather. Let's look at the weather app. I don't know. I don't want to go outside. Everybody else is flying though. And it's not going to rain. 2 hours and 40 minutes in, huh? Let's see where these guys are flying. Duluth. How fucking far is this away? 20 minutes? That's not too bad. Ah! I hate building! I hate it. Let's do one more motor so you guys can see the front motor. Oh, this went dead. We'll do one more motor, and then I'm gonna wrap this shit on up. Where'd that other thing go? There it is. All right, put this here. Oh no, that's not it. Oh God, easy, easy, fella, easy. One more motor. We're gonna do motor number 4, and then I'm probably gonna do the rest of these on my time. Maybe I'm not gonna do this motor because this is one of the other things I don't love about this frame is that you end up putting your 30 by 30 ESC up here, and then these arms, the front arm motor wires go directly in. And I don't love that. I like when there's a little bit of an angle so that it makes it easier to add extra motor wire. Having a little bit of extra motor wire is important because when the arm breaks really violently, it's going to pull on the motor wires a little bit. So I'm going to do my best to add a little bit of extra motor wire here by just kind of putting them down as flat as I can and then just sort of like making a quick little S with the motor wires, basically. But yeah, it's one of the other things that I kind of prefer with the Glide over this one. It's a pretty minor detail until you start crashing constantly. Then it's a minor detail that is a little bit more important. So yeah, just kind of one of those things. If this was a 20 by 20 ESC, this would be the situation would be a little bit better. But it's still, it's just something that's a little bit different of this frame versus the Glide frame. That's all. I don't necessarily know if one's better than the other. It's just different. Okay. And you can't really fix that situation by moving this to the rear because then the same thing would happen in the rear. The rear arms would be the ones that go straight. The rear arm motor wires would be the ones that are going directly into the whoosy what's it. It's the technical term for it. We're gonna strip these. We're gonna strip down naked, and then do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Get down tonight. I don't know any of the rest of the lyrics. I don't even know if those are the right lyrics. Those could be the wrong lyrics. I have trouble hearing. I have trouble, like, a lot of songs I'll think. I mean, I don't really know many lyrics from songs because I don't really listen to the lyrics. I listen to the drummers, since, you know, I was a drummer for a million years. But the songs that I do know lyrics from, a lot of times I will know the wrong lyrics. I have this, like, I don't know, I don't, like... I guess the problem is I'm not listening to the lyrics, so, like, if I just happen to hear them, they're just kind of coming in sideways. That's what she said. And, you know, when stuff comes in sideways, it's hard to get it to fit. Let's do some tinning. Let's tin. Alright, first one. Do you guys want me to zoom? Or do you not care by this point? If anybody wants me to zoom in, just let me know and I'll do it. One little strand of wire tried to escape there, so I just wanted to kind of corral it and wrangle it back into place. Does it even help when I zoom in? Probably not, right? Okay! Now we're good. So now the real fun begins. Trying to make a funny angle work. There's a screw stuck to the bottom of the motor belt. Get the fuck out of there. There we go. Okay. So, we're going to go my left to my right, just so that I'm not crossing the soldering iron over itself. So we'll fold these guys back out of the way. Take this guy and our little tweezers. Give him a little bend. I'm actually going to reverse the tweezers here. Give him a little bend. Jesus. There we go. And we're just going to put it straight flat on the pad like this. Man, I haven't soldered straight to the pads like this since the last Prototype 5. But before that, I hadn't done it in a long ass time. Getting the wire nice and flat. And there we go. And then while it's still kind of molten a little bit, I'm going to take this and just kind of round this guy out a little bit. And sort of tuck it under. Yeah, there we go. So when he's down, he's got a little lilt to him there. Lilt. It's a tough word. It's a rough word there, lilt. Okay. Alright. There's a little bit of exposed wire showing. I'm going to get some solder on it here real quick. Leave that there. Let that melt. And yes. Well, no. Let me make sure that that wire is sitting down flat again. There we go, that's better. The direction that you remove the soldering iron in will usually be, it'll kind of pull a little bit of the solder with it. So I like to remove it going outwards to try to make sure that you don't have that little area of exposed strands of wire. That makes sense? There we are. Same kind of deal here. I'm just going to make a little downward turn with the wire right after the solder joint. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And then there's a little tiny Hershey kiss of solder here. I'm just going to clip off. There we go. Remember, always remember, mind your solder balls. How many fucking t-shirt slogans come out of a regular stream up in here? 80, 90? Like, god damn. I need to be, doing more with these innuendo. That should be my t-shirt store. It should be called FPV innuendos. When you like to fly, innuendo. That doesn't make sense. We fly. No, that doesn't make sense. FPV innuendos. When you haven't had any innuendo, flying is the next best thing. Maybe. When you ain't getting none, at least you can go fly. Okay. So that's looking pretty good there. Kind of a little bend that I don't love in this wire. Let me check the, let me throw a battery on this and make sure that everybody is happy. I am going to put the smoke stopper on it. And we're going to put it into 2 amp mode. We're going to plug it in. And then we're going to hit the on button and hopefully no sparks shoot out. Good to go. Although I might have seen a little something. Oh, of course it's only going to be the first 3 beeps. Okay, let's see. So by putting your finger on the motor when it plays the startup beeps, you can feel it. So the motors are fine. You can even sometimes kind of see them. So we're good. No shorts. Oops. I'll throw full power. Well, no, if it's not tripping on the motor beeps, then giving it full power isn't going to change anything because it's not giving the motors any more power just because you're plugging it in raw. So there we go. That's 2 of the prototype 5 motors. I'm gonna go out and fly. I think we will finish this up tomorrow night if we have enough time, and then we'll move on. The next repair is going to be switching a Glide ESC, which will just be terrible. Switching ESCs is always a fucking total pain in the ass. But it's got to get done. Because I finally killed one of these Acon 20x20s. It took a shitload of punishment. And I think in the future, I will be only buying the Acon 20x20 ESCs because I was just really impressed. And they are legitimately lighter than the 30x30s. They're like, I want to say like 5 or 6 grams lighter. And that's real, man. It's hard to find 5 or 6 grams on a 5-inch freestyle rig with very little to no sacrifice. So yeah, but I have a whole bunch of the 30x30, not a whole bunch, I think I have like 2 extra of the 30x30 Acon ESCs, and that is a whole bunch because the damn things never die. I mean, that is potentially enough extra ESCs for the next 100 years. because like, yeah, I don't know. I just can't kill them other than like dropping it 30 stories to concrete. That seems to be the only way that I've been able to kill one. And that one didn't even die. It just broke the little plate off on the bottom. I epoxied the plate back on, soldered the plate back on, and the damn thing came back to life and is still running now. So, I don't know. Acon Electronics are just seemingly invincible. It's kind of wild. In the chat, Robin Duckett's building. We talked about that. Tim Coker is putting nuts between his ESC and his flight controller. Weather cleared up here in Atlanta Metro. Should be good to fly in a second in Alpharetta. I won't be flying in Alpharetta, but I'm gonna meet up with a couple of the guys. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. You can support me over at CiottiFPV.com. There's a million things. Just click all the buttons, and I'll be back on tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern. Good to see you, even though I can't see you, but you all look the same. You look like a Canon 18-55 EFS f5.6 camera lens. Thanks for hanging out, boys and girls. It's been my pleasure. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Here comes some flying from... I'm playing edit for my channel. Let's go with... What can I give you guys? Let's do... nope, that's not... Nope, that's not what I... Let's go a little Cinewhoop flying. Hanging out with the boys from Up Garage at the Drift event. Here you guys go. I can play this without music because it's just onboard audio. See you guys tomorrow. Enjoy a little bit of Cinewhooping. Bye-bye.
Go through the car! Right there. Go through the car!
Hey.